Hi Jilma, hope you're doing well.
Hello, hi Mayuri. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well too. Thank you. And thank you for accepting our invitation to be a part of the Beyond Dream series of the Next Gen Entrepreneur team. We are joined in today by Jilma. She's the director of Kozhnosys. So, a brief about her startup, right? The Kozhnosys founded in 2015.
2017.
Okay, yeah, okay. Sorry for that. It started in 2017, and they developed an interesting product called it's a breath analyzer, which is a non-invasive device for screening different forms of cancer, including breast, GI, gastrointestinal, cervical, colorectal, head and neck, and more. And coming to the products which they have, so they have the proprietary CanScan, which is an early cancer detection device before the symptoms even appear in patients. And also they have Xalo, which is to monitor the health parameters at home for the patients. And they also have in pipeline Covnos, which is for the screening of COVID-19 by anastomias testing. So we are really happy to have you with us today, Jilma, and we'd like to know about more about yourself and how the entrepreneurship journey started for you, please. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mayuri. And it's a privilege to come here and talk to you about my journey and about Cosmosis.
Mhm.
Yeah. So about me. So I am basically a biomedical engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I was born and brought up in Kozhikode. So that's where
Mm-hmm.
the name of the startup comes from,
Okay.
Cosmosis.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmosis. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after my graduation, I wanted to. I was very passionate about this medical industry and medical field. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to pursue engineering in biomedical engineering. So my BTech I did in biomedical engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, I did MTech in bioscience and engineering from Defense Institute. Pune. So I did BTech
Okay.
from Coimbatore Avinash University.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as I told you, I'm very passionate about
Mm-hmm.
how machines are able to understand the parameters, different parameters of the body. So
Mm-hmm.
that is where I find it very interesting, and I'm very passionate
Mm-hmm.
about understanding more about this. How we can leverage different instruments
Mm-hmm.
to find out whether diseases are there or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my interest lies in, and
Okay.
I'm just I'm just lucky to be still pursuing what
Mm-hmm.
I like most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this basically about me.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. And also, like, starting up as a startup, right? Than going to a conventional salaried position, like traditionally how everybody would do, right? Just, having a job at a biotech company, be a researcher, or, pursue PhD and then go in academia. But you chose a different field. I know you wanted to venture out, have your own products. So was there any induction point for you, or from the early stages you wanted to try something from of your own?
Yes. So, as I told you, after my BTech,
Mm-hmm.
I really had no idea. Even if I wanted to start something of my own, I had no idea
Mm-hmm.
how to begin.
Mm-hmm.
So, best opportunity was to go to industries and understand, how they work.
Mm-hmm.
So after BTech, I joined Larsen and Toubro Medical Equipments Division. I was
Okay.
working as a service engineer there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that from there, I got a little exposure about the industry, how it works,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And
Okay.
soon after that, after a year or so, I left that job. Then
Mm-hmm.
I joined a sales engineer in Philips. So
Okay.
there, I was able to travel to different hospitals and
Mm-hmm.
understand the actual customer need,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
what doctors are looking for and what problems patients are actually facing. So
Mm-hmm.
that was
Mm-hmm.
really, as you told, eye opener. You are actually in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
what the problems are, and
Mm-hmm.
so that was
Mm-hmm.
where I felt, I have to contribute to this field,
Mm-hmm.
in whatever way I can.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I got married, and I had to shift
Mm-hmm.
to Mumbai. And
Mm-hmm.
there I joined as a biomedical engineer in Fortis Hospital.
Okay.
So, as I told you, I just, wanted to start something. And there I
Mm-hmm.
found out that in India, almost 90% medical
Mm-hmm.
equipments are imported.
Yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
it is very difficult to see a Indian manufacturer who
Mm-hmm.
makes really quality medical equipments. So
Mhm.
that is when I thought, okay, whatever I've learned so far, I can put that
Mhm.
knowledge to use and, make something that is actually useful for,
Mhm.
at least for the Indian. So what happens is that all these equipment, since it is manufactured outside, it is
Mhm.
not, really suited for the Indian condition. First thing, it is not
Okay.
affordable for everybody.
Mhm.
It is
Mhm.
present only, all these equipments are present only in big hospitals
Right.
or in,
Mhm.
multi-specialty hospitals or
Mhm.
tier one cities. If you go
Mhm.
to tier two cities and all the, equipments are, especially diagnostic equipments, it is very limited to few
Right.
hospitals.
Mhm.
So, we, and the healthcare cost is also,
Mhm. A lot.
it's,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a lot. So, there has to be, I wanted to dedicate my life to,
Mhm.
make some change here.
Okay.
And I was also, very passionate about building something of my own, which is,
Mhm.
of world class quality also. Because
Okay.
what happens, some many times, what we are Indians are very known for jugaad. So
Yes.
we do lot of
Yeah.
jugaad, but
Mhm.
what happens is that it is just limited to a very a small group of hospitals who can actually afford
Mhm.
that. So we
Mhm.
have to make something that is also world class, and
Right. Mhm.
also thinking about Indian patients and doctors,
Mhm.
keeping them as focus and develop
Mhm.
something that's world class.
Yeah, that's quite inspiring. I mean, the journey which I mentioned is quite inspiring, and also as a woman, you thought of starting something, and you knew the problem statement from your corporate work, life,
Yeah,
and more, and that's quite inspiring, and it would be really inspiring for many girls out there, for sure. And also starting a biotech and healthcare-based company, a device-based, hardware-based company is very, it's not a joke. Like it's difficult. You have to have some support from scratch. So how was that for you? What were the initial challenges? IIT Madras Incubator, I suppose you were a part of, right? So how was it
yeah.
all? How it all came into place?
Yeah. So as you told, woman being a woman, it is very
Mhm.
difficult because people don't take you seriously. And second, yeah, second thing is that technology. So also,
Mm-hmm.
women in technology, it is very limited. Uh,
Yeah.
so that was, a big hurdle for me. So when
Mm-hmm.
we started out, we actually had, a small idea, but
Okay.
I was somehow, I think, lucky enough to
Mm-hmm.
get support from the government. So we
Mm-hmm.
started with, yeah. So I'll just tell you how it all started. I was
Okay.
very, doubtful about whether I should pursue it because it
Mm-hmm.
was just an idea, and I had
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that if I would get enough support.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an incubator in Pune called Venture Center. So,
Okay.
I approached them, and Dr. Premnath actually heard my idea and said, "This is like wonderful. You should actually pursue that."
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one who actually told that, there is a lot of government support now
Mm-hmm.
for entrepreneurs. So I applied for Birac BIG grant,
Okay.
which is around 50 lakhs, which is,
Mm-hmm.
quite a good sum to start with.
Mm-hmm.
So, with government support, we could just start our dreams, you know, uh,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
dreams from government grants. So, we
Mm-hmm.
also got DST NIDHI-PRAYAS for prototyping.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
these are two grants which, came early in to actually make us, build our prototype and all that. Then
Mm-hmm.
we also, as I told you, Venture Center has been a great support from the start,
Mm-hmm.
and they are first investors also, and
Okay.
they did yeah, two rounds of funding with us.
Mm-hmm.
And in between IIT Madras, so they were starting a health tech focused
Uh-huh.
incubation center. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when I got in touch with them, and through them
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of industry connects. AstraZeneca,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we were mentored a little by AstraZeneca. Then we
Mm-hmm.
also get
Mm-hmm.
the CSR fund, and
Okay.
even CSR funds has been great support
Mm-hmm.
to us. Yeah, so that's how we actually started, and we have reached this far with
That's really good.
government
I
support.
mean, you got the main two grants, prototype grant like DST grant and the big
Yeah.
grant. They are the kind of the potential grants any startup can get from in Indian government. That congratulations. It's been late, but still congratulations on that. And it's great to have that confidence, right? Like when you have an idea, till you get to the prototype, you need such support because we also don't know how it turns out. The
Yes.
the precision, the reliability, and it's all just it's a risky thing, but it's all the trial and error method, right? In healthcare, you test a lot of things, and also like a device, it's a lot of things come into place. But having that
Yes.
basic support in the building stage, it's very good, very nice, and only because it's not a easy thing. We know how the proposal goes for big grant
Yes.
and DST and more. It requires a lot of work, and technical strength should be there. And it's really inspiring, Jilma, and great work. And we are really proud
Yes.
that you could, come into multiple devices, from in some, such young age of the company, right? So it's really nice to know, and also like how it was for you to build the earlier team. So that also like the core team, how it all started. You already had a co-founder, or you built everything step by step, or how it was for you?
Yeah. So I had a ready-made co-founder who's my husband.
Okay. Okay.
And somehow our interest also
Mm-hmm.
matches. So he's a computer science engineer, and
Okay.
he loves making softwares, and he loves
Mm-hmm.
electronics. So main
Mm-hmm.
main things were taken care of there.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
so yeah, I my interest is in biomedical and chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so there was a little combination of
Mm-hmm.
both
Yeah.
the.
Mm-hmm.
That's started. Then we had like really good researchers,
Mm-hmm.
and mentor support has been great.
Mm-hmm.
So we many times feel that all these big people, they just ignore you and all that. But in my
Yeah.
case, they have been like really very supportive. They
Mm-hmm.
have helped me in getting connections, getting
Mm-hmm.
good and even for funding, they have been referring and all that. So that
Mm-hmm.
way, I think mentors is who has actually helped us, reach this far with all
Mm-hmm.
the support and technology. Like, if any
Right.
doubt is there, we already have, a good
Mm-hmm.
scientist whom we can
Right.
just go and ask, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't charge anything. They gives advice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good
Yeah.
that we get such good support from the system. So I think it's only
Mm-hmm.
because of that we have reached so far.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Expert consultant is very difficult, but now with
Yes,
such a platforms into place, the networking is really being a very positive impact on startups, right? Really,
yes,
yeah. And also like coming to like speaking of challenges, you know, faced the pandemic, global pandemic. We still are having some of the remnants of it. So how was it for a hardware company like you? Like what was the impact on your startup? And if you could, yeah.
actually, yeah. What happened is that we were about to start our trials with different cancer patients. So that's when the
Okay.
pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
And now because of that, our work has really slowed down.
Okay.
And at
Mm-hmm.
that time, then we are doing work in the office and in the lab.
Mm-hmm.
So electronics, chemistry, and all that is involved.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, going to the lab and doing work was not possible also. So
Yeah.
that way
Mm-hmm.
we were really restricted. Then we were trying to do
Mm-hmm.
something online and all, but
Mm-hmm.
it was difficult because work was not moving forward during
Right.
that time.
Mm-hmm.
But now, since everything has opened, we have
Yeah.
increased our pace. We have doubled up our pace, and
Okay.
we are trying to cover whatever lag has
Mm-hmm.
happened.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and also healthcare system wholly would be concentrated only on the COVID, and
Yes.
everything
See,
took a back seat there. And mm-hmm.
what I feel is that
Mm-hmm.
after COVID has hit, the
Mm-hmm.
importance of healthcare people have really understood.
Mm,
And
right.
now it is easy to tell people that screening is required to detect any disease
Yes.
early. So
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
awareness has increased a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of taking care of one's own health. people understand that
Yeah.
better now. So,
Yes.
that way, so it has both positives and
Yes,
negatives.
that's true. And also, like coming to the early diagnosis, we see that that's a very such a good value proposition we have, because in cancer, the detection comes only in the later stages,
Yes,
at least
yes,
post the first stage, or or in worst cases, the last stage of it, when the tumor enlarges to a extent, and they really feel something difference in their body and more. Like at least for Indian patients, we don't they don't the common population here, they don't go for regular checkups or something.
mm,
Only when is there some morbidity, they go in for checkups and more. So initial stages, how it was for you to make the people accept the concept of early diagnosis, and how, like
yeah.
as you mentioned, it's changed a lot post COVID, but how it was for you in initial stages.
Yeah. So our device is still in the development phase, so it's not
Mm-hmm.
in the market yet. But
Okay.
we used to work closely with the cancer patients, and
Mm-hmm.
as you rightly mentioned, people are so much afraid of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
If even if doctors tell that you have cancer, people are
Yeah.
just terrified, and they don't go for treatment itself because they are
Mm-hmm.
terrified. It's
Yeah.
a really bad situation,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why we thought that this is the
Mm-hmm.
field where we have to work.
Right.
So talking about so what mainly why it is diagnosed late is that, as I told you, affordability and
Mm-hmm.
accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
So currently there is no screening test for cancer. If
Mm-hmm.
breast cancer there is mammography. Cervical cancer there is HPV detect, pap smear test and
Perhaps.
all.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
other cancers and all, it's uh, it is being diagnosed at much advanced stages. Even
Right.
doctors
Mm-hmm.
cannot do it because the treatment doesn't work on them. So
Yes.
to have such a screening device, it is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And where we feel that where it is going to make a difference is that at least in cities, people
Mm-hmm.
go for the health checkup. They have a regular
Yeah.
health checkup plan, and every
Mm-hmm.
year they do. But
Mm-hmm.
cancer is not covered in the that plan.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a device like this, we can cover the cancer screening also as part of the routine health checkup.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
and we have been talking to many people there, and
Mm-hmm.
since it is using breath,
Mm-hmm.
they are very comfortable doing that test.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
if you ask them to do some other test like ultrasound or mammography,
Mm-hmm.
people are little reluctant. But breath,
Yeah.
they are really very comfortable doing
Mm-hmm.
a breath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's rightly said. And also, like coming to Xalo, right? Xalo, which it's in the
Yeah.
phase of development, which should be
Mm.
rightly in the remote monitoring of patients, remote patient monitoring and assessment and more. And also for from home, like home test based, and also the non-invasiveness makes it so
Yes.
wider acceptance would be really there, because you don't need anything in a blood, or even
Yes.
of radiation exposure or something there. I think,
Mm.
and also like coming to the mechanism, right? Like, what is how it detects? Like, it's a volatile compound detection, right? Or how?
Yes.
What if you just could give us a outline of the device, how it works?
Yes, yes. So, what we basically do is that, so, our breath has lot of
Mm-hmm.
gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen. And
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, it also has, very little quantities of something called volatile organic compounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is normally present in the body
Mm-hmm.
because of, metabolism. Byproduct is, alcohols and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is present in very, minute quantities.
Minute. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what happens is that when there is a disease, this metabolism changes. So if we talk
Mm-hmm.
about cancer, the tumor
Mm-hmm.
growth. So there is a lot of cell growth, and because of that, more of these compounds are produced.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what happens is that because of mutation, some new
Mm-hmm.
compounds are also produced. So
Okay.
what? Yeah. So all these, changes is seen in the exhaled breath.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, if we are able to detect these change in the concentration of the compounds, or
Mm-hmm.
presence of new compounds, we'll be able to detect the presence of any disease. So whatever occurring in the body, we'll be able to detect. So that is the
Okay.
basic science behind breath analysis for disease diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what we have done is that these we have developed sensors
Mm-hmm.
which can detect these markers at very low
Mm-hmm.
concentration. So
Okay.
this is the main part of our device,
Mm-hmm.
and so there is an array of sensors in our device. So
Mm-hmm.
one person just has to exhale into that device,
Mm-hmm.
and then our sensors will detect whether these compounds are there or whether
Okay.
concentration is or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have a inbuilt machine learning algorithm. So the result
Okay.
of this sensors, it is um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, checked by this machine learning algorithm, and it will tell whether there is high risk or low risk of having any disease.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Mm-hmm.
is, we have kept it as high risk and low risk and not giving any values and all this, because we want to put this machine in rural areas or in
Mm-hmm.
hospitals where there are no doctors or many maybe
Right. Mm-hmm.
very qualified people to actually interpret the result. So
Mm-hmm.
this,
Mm-hmm.
the person will get to know that then and there itself whether they're having some disease, and then
Okay.
they can go for higher checkups, visit an
Mm-hmm.
oncologist, oncologist, and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
we will be able to save that time, and also its sensitivity is really high,
Mm-hmm.
because we're looking at even the minute changes in the body can be
Mm-hmm.
reflected in your breath.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so it is very sensitive, and
Mm-hmm.
even before symptoms occur, we
Mm-hmm.
are able
Mm-hmm.
to detect these presence of these markers in the exhale.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting, and also like the how much exhale breath would give about the body. It kind of gives an
Yes,
as you mentioned, like I can imagine, okay, head, neck, because the breathing pattern different for different people, and also
yes,
as you can see, like even detect colorectal, cervical cancer. So
yes,
even changes in those organs would be impacts the exhale breath. So that's quite
yes,
interesting to note, and yeah, like and also like as you mentioned, the sensitivity is good, and that's great to have such a device, and having a binary, answer like risk or no risk, even less, less skillful workers or just
yes,
nurses or some technicians can interpret and provide, direction to the patient. So that's really nice, and having a core value proposition in the Indian population. It's quite inspirational, Jilma, and great work. And also, like now, currently, you're in the trial phase, as we understand,
yes.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yeah. So we have a minimum viable product ready, and so now we have to start our trials. So as I
Mm-hmm.
told you, it got delayed so much now.
Yeah.
We have to
Okay. Mm-hmm.
restart. But I think about a year's time we should finish our trials, and then we should
Mm-hmm.
be good to go to the market.
That's great. And also, you're planning for in-house manufacturing of the device, like in
Yes,
India.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes. Because so that is the main aim of
Yeah.
starting Cosmos, that we
Okay.
have uh, you know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
technology in India. Otherwise, we'll end up, buying technology from outside, and
Right.
it's going to
Mm-hmm.
cost more, and
Mm-hmm.
the story will be same. So if it is
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Indian, accessibility, affordability is there. So
Mm-hmm.
that will actually maybe drive more people to go for screening at low cost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And cancer, it is very important to catch it at early phase.
Mm-hmm.
Only then
Yes,
the treatment actually works.
that's true. That's true. And thank you for sharing your experiences. It was really a great conversation with you. And coming to the medical device, right? Like we understand internationally, we have CE, other FDA markings in US and
Yes,
Europe and more. Like in for India, what is the regulations and the how much time it takes for you to comply with the same? And yeah.
yeah. So in India, there is CDSCO,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
drugs controller in India.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here, this is not a notified device. So they have 17 devices which are notified,
Mm-hmm.
and all the regulatory rules are set for these devices. So
Okay.
since this is a known device, what happens is that we have to get a non-objection certificate from the CDSCO.
Mm-hmm.
So for
Mm-hmm.
that, we have to whatever trials we have done, we have to submit the result report to the
Okay.
CDSCO,
Mm-hmm.
and based on that and because we are just it's a non-invasive device and all that, it
Mm-hmm.
is a
Mm-hmm.
class 2 device.
Mm-hmm.
and so that is in India. But as you said, there is already a FDA approved
Mm-hmm.
breathalyzer for COVID.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, based on that, we can get FDA approval and CE
Okay.
certification. So it's must if we want to go
Mm-hmm.
to Europe and
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. And it was really, informative, and also like the journey from being a student, and then how you ventured into with your experiences and starting your own venture, and challenging the fronts of medical device manufacturing in our country, and getting an established startup of your own. Really nice. And it would have been that there we understand that there'll be a lot of peaks and downs and more in the it'd be a roller coaster journey for you, but at times you'd have felt okay, it is very rewarding, like there should be some moments, like what were those moments, like if you could share a couple of moments which was more rewarding, for most rewarding experience throughout the journey with us, you can share.
So, so reward actually comes from how, people accept your technology.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel is, more rewarding. So as I told you, when we approach people and,
Mm-hmm.
especially cancer patients, so
Mm-hmm.
if we tell them and they are, going through such, the emotional, such an emotional time it is for them when they are
Yes. Mm-hmm.
getting the treatment done. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's then, when we approach them, so they say that if, something like this was there,
Mm-hmm.
maybe our journey might not be this tough.
Yes.
So that is,
Mm-hmm.
once, we felt that, we are actually going to make a difference to,
Mm-hmm.
cancer patients, life. So that is
Yeah.
one, really, great moment for us that we are doing something for the
Mm-hmm.
society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that. And also, some oncologists who are in rural areas. So
Mm-hmm.
you see cases in much advanced stages and they cannot do anything.
Yeah.
It's
They're
so
helpless. And
yeah, they helpless. Yeah, so so some doctors have told it is going to be great because it
mm-hmm.
can be set in rural areas, and if we are
Mm-hmm.
able to catch cancer early, there are like so many million lives we can save.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so that
Mm-hmm.
two instances where we felt that
Mm-hmm.
we are doing something great, and that we should
Mm-hmm.
work very really hard to make this
Mm-hmm.
thing work. That is going to make a big change in the society.
Right, yeah. And as you said, like, cancer is a disease. Itself is a very difficult situation, and the therapy itself, the treatment, therapy, and emotional turmoil it causes in the life of a patient and their, loved ones is another big difficulty
Yeah.
which happens. So detecting something like this early, and getting that away with a surgery, or even some medication-based treatment would be really advantageous for a lot of lives, for sure. And as you could see, like positive impact you'll be creating in millions of lives, and that itself is
Yes.
a rewarding one. And
Yes.
that's
Yes.
great. And also, like, we'd like to know, if you could share some key takeaways for aspiring entrepreneurs, to take key takeaways from your experience, it will be great.
Yes, yes. So, as you mentioned, entrepreneurship is really tough. It is,
Mm-hmm.
very important that one has that patience
Yeah.
because, it takes a lot of time to become successful,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
So there is going to be, a lot of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, keep calm and, keep working hard. Only
Mm-hmm.
then there is going to be reward. So,
Right.
just
Mm-hmm.
don't get let down by, things like, so funding, you might be doing it is very difficult to
Mm-hmm.
get. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever small fund you get, you try to
Mm-hmm.
utilize that and get your technology and product to a validation stage.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
after that, once it starts working, then you are successful, and
Mm-hmm.
funds and all that everything will follow. But
Right.
that period till you have your device in the market, or whatever technology is there in the market, that
Mm-hmm.
period is really tough, and it is very important to keep calm and keep
Mm-hmm.
your focus and keep working.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. Thank you, Jilma, for your time today. And it was really interesting conversation and also to know about your startup journey. It was very inspirational. And we really look forward to more girls, starting and venturing out, independently, also seeking having that patience, perseverance of pursuing the journey and more. And thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot for being in our series.
Yeah,
Have a
thank
great
you
day.
so much, Mayuri. Thank you so much.